I hope my videos are going to be more about theory and less about some just practice, but this is the beginning of a couple of videos that are going to be about the following, about reading currencies. Now, when we adjust currencies, particularly in project financing, when we deal with currency risk, I want to talk about, this idea of PPP, not public-private partnership, purchasing power parity, and whether we should make that assumption or not, and how deviations from that public, whatever it is, purchasing power parity can be disastrous. Now, in this video, let's say, I don't want to get the British pound because they had Brexit, and I would like to get the Chilean peso. And we just select a number of currencies, and then you press read all. It says, okay, we're going to put the output of all these currencies into the um, into this row 200 of this file, and then we're reading in the currencies. Okay, so I just read them all in. I actually had a little break here, but you can see what happened is you just put the currencies here. It listed the currencies, put what the exchange rate is, put the date is, and right here. And then what you can do is you can copy this to other files, and later I'm going to tell you about currencies and how they change over time. But this just illustrates how you can use a couple of tools where you take a URL, put a URL together, and then make a function to read the file. You can go through and look at this, then the video will explain what this is, and um, and you can just get the answer that quickly. And you can put this in your invoice files or anything else, but it really is an illustration of how to use the workbooks.open feature or statement from the macros and then just pick different currencies. So if we wanted to do it again, we just pick some different currencies, we'd press the read all, it would read it for a different date, and then we can use all of this in all of our analysis. Maybe you just have one currency you need, which is just fine too. So if you just care about the euro, you just click off of these, and that's with this list box. There'll be a little description of that as well. Okay, so we don't want any of these, and we're just taking them away, and we'll just take only the euro. So then okay, we can just take these currencies and then read it again. Okay, you can see that, and now you can listen to the boring old video that describes all the details. Okay, I making a video, and it really kind of stinks. I just made a beautiful file, and I don't know what happened with it. It didn't work. So this file, this file in this process is going to be this business of reading in things from the internet. And what we want to do is be able to select not just one currency, but any of these currencies. We want to select them, any of them. So I'm going to start with our nice little list. Okay? Remember, here's what we're going to... Oh, no, a phone call. I think my daughter's having a baby, so I better take it. Hello? Uh, hello? Okay, now I'm back. Okay. The What we're going to do is then go to, if you just go say, okay, I want to convert USD to Indonesian, I think is this rupee? Okay, you get a website, okay, or URL. Now, what we're going to do is take this website and start with that. And then we can put a row number here. Okay, and let's just take that as a 1 or something. And then we can, okay, and then I'm going to put index. I was just thinking where that really should have gone. Okay, and then, okay, we get our thing. Okay, I think this sucks. This has to go over here. Okay, and then once we have that one, okay, and let's press the F4 on the index. So the theme is that you use the index function to get this stuff. Okay, and so that's our thing. And now this is going to be our URL name. Okay, and now once we have this URL name, then we can read in all of these things, basically, or not. Now, I'm going to do this one differently. Here's what I'm going to do on this one. I'm going to read the URL first, and then we find the USD equal 1 text. And then we get the row number and copy the row into our file. Okay, so we don't have to save. The idea here is not to have to save the file created with the URL. Okay, so let's start doing that just a little bit. And okay, and let's make a little macro and put test or something, and let's rename this to read one currency. Okay, and then when we read one currency, let's first put workbooks dot open and put the URL name. That's what we're getting first. Okay, and then once we get the URL name, let's start. We'll copy. We'll put cells select. I'm trying to do this without kind of doing, and then copy, and then selection copy. Okay, and then once we have the copied, we're gonna put paste special. So I'm gonna have to do this, unfortunately. So what we do is I'm gonna make a temporary little macro. We take the whole thing, copy that, add that, paste special as values. You want to get rid of all the other stuff. Okay, I'm going to delete that. I don't need this anyway. I just did that whole thing only to find the, only to get this. So we can put sheets add. Now this, when we add the sheets here, this is a new sheet in the temporary file, in the URL file. So I did this whole thing before. It really stinks. Okay, and then we're just pasting it special. Okay, now the next thing we go is when you do this, I happen to know that if you look in, let's go for row equals 1 to about 200. Okay, and then we're going to look for range. We want to find the we want to find this text. I'm going to have to show you how to do this one. Okay. All right. Let me pause this for a minute. Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I didn't do anything in the break. I just collected my thoughts just a little bit, and then I'm going to open the URL, copy and paste it. So let's see what it didn't do. Shoot. Because I probably didn't name it appropriately. URL underscore name. Okay. So what in the heck? Okay, now I am sorry about something. I had to restart my computer. This is why I had to redo the whole thing. And I see something wrong again here, but I'm going to show you kind of where I left off. Excuse me for this abrupt kind of thing in the video. Now, if we want to read this in, okay, so we read in, this is what we did before. We read it in, copy and pasted it, and this time I'm looking for this thing that says 1 USD. And the reason I'm using that is it says convert from USD to. So that's the kind of little trick where you just, and then I'm looking through the first 150 lines. I'm looking in row A and going around the cells and going left and seeing if I can find this 1 USD. When I find it, I say, oh, we found the row. That's our row number. And then we go down and take that row number and we select it and we copied it. Okay? If for some reason I don't have this row output, I define it. Then we define this target cell, I don't need this, as this would be 200 colon 200, okay? And then we take our we activate our current workbook and we copy this in. And then I was going to close the temporary workbook so we could redo the process over and over again, okay? I went through it kind of fast, but so now I'm getting these. Now, the next thing I did was, well, let's just get one. So let's get Brazilian Real, or maybe not. Let's get the CFA franc. So we press read. This just reads one. It goes and reads a thing, and it's already finished. And then down here in line 76, it found the 1 USD. And then what it does, I'm going to close it by hand. It just, oops, I don't want to, idiot. And then we go down to line 200, and it didn't, oh, I don't think let me try it one more time. And let's make sure I copied it appropriately. So we go and we paste it. So we should have got this 200. Well, let's try it again. That's kind of silly. Okay. I'm sorry to waste your time. Really. Really, seriously. Okay. So we got this franc. And we found it. And we should have been copying it. And we should go to line 214. Oh, I have to understand why it went to 214, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Now, what the next thing I did was I made a list box. You know, when you make a list box, you go to the developer tab, go to insert, and go to the list box. And then I said, okay, well, let's just take our all of these things in column C, C8. There, we take all our list of currencies. All right, and then when you're going to select this, when you do this, I noticed I put multi, okay? And then when you're going to select this, you go to Format Control. You don't go to that. You go to Assign Macro. And you have to find another macro that did this. That's what I do, at least. And I said, well, here's the base cell. And then here's what I should have done. I should have said, okay, let's delete everything we had in this before, which I think it was about 160. So you could theoretically put 160 currencies and do this for the whole thing. And so now if we, let's say I want the euro. So that now it gets this. And let's say I also want to get the Bolivian, whatever it is, in the real. Okay. Now what we'll do this time is I'm going to close the file each time. So I hope you can see that that's kind of how it works. Now, I don't know. I was hoping for kind of a simple one here, really. But then we're going to read everything together. And this is almost always what I do when I have this kind of stuff. I read one clearly, and then we go around. And we say, okay, we have 11 currencies. We just got this with the count A, okay? Once we have the 11 currencies, then, okay, well, we'll put the date here first before we go around. And then we go around the currencies. And each time we go around, we're going to change this row number. So if this row number is 2, notice how it took the Bolivian Bolivarano. And then we put the third one in, and that's got the Brazilian Real. I don't know how to pronounce it really well, that one. That sucks. Okay. I'm sorry, I swore. Oh, no. Oh, shoot. And then let's go to the macro, and that wasn't really a swear. And then we read in our currency. Now, each time you do this, it should be putting a new row output number in. Okay, and we do that with a public variable. Using a public variable is really a crucial kind of thing. Before I used public variables, because that means you can use that over here, and as long as that row output isn't 0, if it is 0, you just have to redo it. But if it's not, you're just going to use whatever you did in the other one. So what should happen is now, instead, we should be able to, we said, okay, it starts in 200 and shoot. Oh no. Okay, that was really embarrassing. If you do this, you save the file. The more embarrassing thing is I don't know exactly what happened, but I'm redoing it, and it's reading each of these separately, and that's how fast it's going. I don't have that fast an internet because where I'm talking from with this accent I have, it kind of stinks. So but it's still reading it in pretty well. It's on the Brazilian, what is it, on the XFP, CNY, and the Czech crown. Okay, and then it says, all right, we'll put all this here. So this is the currencies for this date. Date my grandson was born. And then we have all of these things, and that's all it did. So what, you say? So what? Well, once we have those, then we just put up here, we go to the kind of the, excuse, 200, okay? So, and then, okay. Now, let's just find the equal sign, and add one. Is that okay? And then we put our little mid function in here, and we click on that one, and we start it with this one, and let's go to, I think we should go to about 8 characters, and then it gives us this is the Let me see, this would be the pounds. So this is how many currency to USD. Is that right? Oh, so 1 USD, and I was wrong, isn't it? It's USD to currency. So if you have shit. Ah, he swore again. Okay, then I think this is right. So if you have £1, you can get 1.24 USD. If you don't have 1 USD, you get one whatever. Stupid. Okay, and then we can just copy that down, and it looked as though 8 was a little much, so we got some values there because we had this. Okay, and then we have all of our currencies done, and then if you don't like those values at the bottom, of course you can kind of put a this one we will just put a if it's equal to 0, if this equals 0, then we'll put a thing, otherwise we'll put a to 201, and then we can put an if error around the other stuff. Okay, and I think that's it. Okay, and that's really a lot of these videos about reading these files in, but people don't seem to care about this one, but I'm trying to show you how easy it is. Okay, and you can do a lot with it. And the other thing is my friend Ari, and shoot, see, from Amsterdam, maybe not Amsterdam, but somewhere in Holland. He said, "Okay, you did this, and I forgot how to do it." And he said, "Oh," I said, "Oh, okay, I'll do it again." And I thought it'd be a heck of a lot easier like this. So let's do it one more time, and then stop the video. I just saved it. It's all a small file. You can copy this. Here's what you really can do. You can copy this into kind of your own file. You'd have to then get the macros copied in as well. So let's say I don't want the pound, and the only problem with this one now is I really should delete everything from line 200 on. I want the Iceland Corona, of course, and Maltese Lira and Mexican Peso because Donald Trump, and we just press read all, and it says, okay, well, let's see what we have this time. So we should be starting with the euro, and it should give us all of this stuff. Okay, and I'm stopping the video now. This was kind of a sucko one, but, if you want to see how to read stuff in, it might be kind of worth it. Okay, and that's it. Bye.